Huh. Sometimes we're having sand and we end up in hell again. And we kiss and we argue every day. I know I misbehaved and you made your mistakes. And we're talking about billionaires today. I just thought I would sing as my little opener. We're talking about billionaires again today, is what I really meant to say. What up, Uncle? What up, Iman? How you doing? How was your photography thing? And Uncle, how was it like? What's it like staying alive in America right now? You know what I mean? Okay, I should sing some songs, eh? Yeah, we're gonna do a karaoke episode. When I'm like out of topics, it's just gonna be karaoke, just political karaoke, you know? Oh, pirates, yes, they're rabbi. How y'all doing? Sold I to the merchant ships. Here's the thing: we need to talk about billionaires again. Probably number one because Uncle missed it, but number two because Kevin, what up? A lot of people had a lot to say, and people that like smart people had a lot to say. And when smart people have a lot to say, I say, okay, maybe we need to say this a little more. I posted the billionaire question, and a lot of people were like, no billionaires, no billionaires. But then some of my smarter friends were like, yes, billionaires, yes, billionaires. And I was like, okay. So I just wanted to show this for starters. So this is wealth shown to scale. I posted the link in the comments. All right, check it out. Scroll right. I'm scrolling. I'm clicking it. I'm scrolling right. All right. So that first dot, that little dot right there. Can you see that dot? That's not dirt. That little dot is $1,000. This little square is how much the average American house makes. See it? That's a million. This is a billion. You saw that? Just pull that back up. This is a million. This is what you make in a year. This is a billion. Who needs this? People are like, it's immoral to take $1 billion from someone. Isn't it immoral to have this much money? Come on. And this is Bezos. Not done. Still Bezos. This is money now. Still Bezos. They wanted to have it. Still Bezos. Sing along. Why you need this? Still Bezos. It's still going. Check it out now. I mean, it's not done. It's got to be an end, right? I'm still pressing the keys. I'm okay. Still Basil. Okay, it says here we rarely see wealth inequality represented to scale. This is part of the reason why Americans consistently underestimate the relative wealth of the super rich. People. Okay, so I'm asking you, why you need this? Why do you need this though? People saying it's wrong to take this from him. He doesn't need this. Nobody needs this. Who needs this? It's not wrong to take. You can't even eat all that food, fam. You would notice it. You wouldn't notice it if it was gone. You wouldn't notice it. You wouldn't. Why are we fighting about this? Do, 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 do. Every 10 pixels you scroll is 5 million. Wow. Okay. It's not done. It's not done. Okay. Have I made my point? Can I stop? Can I stop? Uncle says that type of wealth is acceptable if earned by fair means distributed. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, okay, I'm going to read it out. That type of wealth is acceptable if earned by fair means, which is questionable. Like, how you going to get fair means on that? Anyways, but okay, even if you earn it by fair means, distributed to worthy causes that benefit mankind. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying this. If you make this much money, we should take it from you. Just we should, but we should let people know that it came from you. You know, so maybe world hunger was brought to you by Jeff Bezos. Thanks, but we just take it from you and we because it doesn't make any sense that you have this stupid do kind of money and people starving right now because you're not even going to use it. You're not even going to use it. Really? What? Who? What? I'm not done. We still scrolling. We still scrolling. And comments. The comments are amazing, by the way. Shout out to that one. I love that. That's one of my favorite things to say. And then this. What up? And then this again. How can you sit there with all that? Okay. Okay, we're coming up to the end now. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're almost done. Let's go. That could be a song. I'm remixing now. Just kidding. We're about a third of the way. Yo, I didn't click on this till now. Okay, we're about a third of the way. Keep scrolling through. There's more to see. Let's keep it going. So here's what I'm learning by doing these. Yeah. Here's what I'm learning by doing this. It's still scrolling. You know, keep the sound in your head. Oh, there's a number. There's a number. Maybe I can pull it up. Right now we're only at 54 billion. You see that? There's a number. So we're not, you see the number? Okay. Now we're cooking. Okay, so what I'm learning, I'm asking these questions on my Facebook, right? And they're like big questions, and sometimes they're not the most perfectly thought out questions. But I just want to know like what people I know think. And what I'm realizing is there's a lack of political imagination. You know, there are people who like we don't know how. We have our opinions, we have our feelings, we have our thoughts. So now we're at 60 billion, but we don't know how, and we let we let not knowing how stop us from dreaming. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with someone saying I want to fly to the moon. I don't know how, but I want to fly to the moon. To me, that's okay. To me, it's not okay to say I don't think anybody should ever fly to the moon because I have no idea how they would get there. To me, that it's sad. It shows a lack of imagination. Or imagine you're on a plantation and you're a slave and you're being abused and all that. It's terrible. And someone says, yo, we should get free. And they say, I don't think we should try to get free. I don't think we should even talk about getting free because I have no idea how we would get free. And it's like, whoa, slow down. I didn't ask you to critique my plan. I asked you to talk about my intent. You understand what I'm saying? And I get it. Like, I do get it. People don't. Okay, well, what does it say? All the money you will ever earn in your entire life from the day you were born until the day you die is about 1.7 million. But so that's your whole life. That's all your work. I'm not laughing. Okay, so like I think we need to separate the what we want for society and the how we want. Just because we don't know how we're going to get there doesn't mean we shouldn't dream bigger, you know? Like, I'm hoping that, I don't know, I'm at 70 billion. Should I stop? I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping. It's still going. So that's my thing. Like people in the world, if just because you don't know how we're gonna get there, don't mean you can't want it. You know what I mean? I don't know what kind of structure politically, economically we need to make it so that one person doesn't amass this amount of money and it sits in a bank. I don't know what we need, how we do that, but I do know that it would be okay. This little dot is the annual cost of healthcare for a family of four in America. We're still going. Like, I don't know how, but I do know that this is weird. This is not appropriate and this is unnecessary. And that I do know that I would want to live in a world where we're not talking about people dying of diseases that could be cured very easily with just a little bit of money. And we have people like this. I don't know. I don't know if that I don't think we need to live in that world. You know what I mean? So that's kind of yeah. I'm gonna stop because this is ridiculous. But I mean, can I multitask? I'm gonna multitask. Let's see if I can keep it going and read these comments. So I'm gonna read some comments that were okay. I'm gonna read some comments. Is it still going? Nope, I can't multitask. It's gonna be impossible. No, is it impossible? No, it's not impossible. I got it. So somebody says, I've looked through this thread and I think I understand the sentiment. This is the thread of everybody saying no. Economic inequality slash disparity is an unfortunate side effect of a capitalist society, but at the same time, the exact same issues exist in every economic system on earth. My friend says, most recent our most my most recent ancestors were from the Soviet Union, and it wasn't exactly roses on that society. I think he's trying to say that the Soviet Union was communist and this society is better than communist. I think, my point is billionaires are a consequence of economic inequality and it's not great. However, I'd rather live in a country like Canada than any other country on earth. It has inequality and many other issues, but life is hard everywhere. And it I and no, I just think it's less hard and more fear here. So the energy of his comment obviously is, my people come from Soviet, and Soviet was not a great economic system. What's this? Something's coming up here. The annual cost to house every single homeless veteran in America. Okay, and it passed. Okay, so he's saying his family comes from a place that was communist, and the economic world was not cool, and that this economic world is better, and he'd rather live here, even though it's unequal than anywhere else. All right, but my reply to him is simply, I didn't ask you what you would settle for. I asked you if you think billionaires should exist in a just society. And I guess he's saying yes. But to me, this has the energy of settling. You know what I mean? This lacks political imagination. So I'm not even going to debate the fact that Canada is better than other places. It most definitely probably maybe is. I'm not going to do that. But I am going to say, like, wouldn't you want to live in a society or help to build a society where you don't have to preface it by saying, I know my society is unequal, but it's better than other places. Like, I feel like that's a settle when we're talking about ideas. All right, so this is the annual cost of chemotherapy for all cancer patients. 9 billion. This is American money also. Again. All right. Chemo's not cheap. Chemo is not cheap. We're still going. Jeff Bezos made $9 billion in 40 days. Just saying. So, like, I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from in terms of the energy, not really debating people's thoughts and their feelings and their experiences, but just challenging our willingness to settle in the societies that we're taking part in. Our complacency. Like, imagine you're the son of a slaver, and you're like, I know my dad's slaving these black people all over the place, but what do you want me to do? It's worse other places. It's like, really? That's what you're gonna be. That's who you are. Cool. But I guess the word settler, like the people who settle civilizations. I'm playing this game called Civilizations and Settlers, but also people who settle. And I guess my questions come from a place of like, do we have to do that? Can we dream? Okay, chemo's done. We're still going. We're at $111 billion, and we're still rolling with it. We're still rolling. Let me take a break to pull up another comment. This was a good one. All right, here we go. My friend says, "This is a sticky question." Oh, back to this. I hope you guys are okay with my attention. Okay, even the fortunes of the very of blah, even the fortunes of very rich people are dwarfed by the incomprehensible wealth of the 0.0001%. This is one person. You know what I can do? I can get you to read this with me. Ooh, that's an idea. Okay, so this other person says this. And I'm still scrolling. Who determines how much is too much? At what point do you say you've earned enough? It is impossible to cap what an individual can earn, especially if they honestly got to that level by working hard. In any system, there is some form of control, and with control comes an invitation for corruption. So implementing a system in which any individual can only make a certain amount of money before someone else says they can't have what they've earned, well, isn't that also an unjust system? What do y'all think? Because I have feelings about that. I think no. I think it's very easy to cap what somebody can earn. This is too much. This is the wealth of Goldman Sachs CEO. Okay. And you know who Goldman Sachs is? Look up Goldman Sachs. Goldman Sachs ain't no joke. This is the wealth of Beyonce. 400 million. Okay, Beyonce. Cool. This is the wealth of the Apple CEO. These aren't billions. So, like, this is the lifetime earnings of a doctor. This is a lawyer. This is a hedge fund manager. These people may see themselves as fabulously rich and often oppose policies aimed at reducing inequality. But you ain't making Bezos money. So again, like, what do you think, people, about this idea of capping the amount of money somebody can earn? Because if I had two children and one of my children, let's say, somehow found a whole bunch of candy and my other child didn't get no candy at all, I would definitely make my one who had too much candy give some candy to one who didn't have. I wouldn't feel no ways about it. I don't care. It's just candy. Share that. I don't even see the issue. So I think questions of like how much is too much, how do we redistribute it, and areas dealing with corruption are for sure important, as we've seen in some countries where the totalitarianism kind of ruined the socialism. But I don't think it's impossible. Let's see. I'm going to check some comments. Social responsibility. Why not put a social responsibility tax when an earner makes past a reasonable amount? I don't understand why a human would want to make exactly. And for me, it's like this: if you have too much money, okay, and I come to say, and I'm the government or the people, and I come to say, we need some of that for the planet, and you say no, it's like we weren't asking you. We're taking some of this for the planet, and that's it. You can have your feelings about it, but guess what? Those millions of people that we fed, or that rainforest that we were able to repopulate, they'll thank you later. And I don't understand how individuals in a collective society would want to defend a single soul for having this money. Like I don't understand why we would want to defend this. I mean, if you're Bezos, I guess you might feel the ways that I took some of this from you. I'm still scrolling. But if you ain't Bezos and you're like that person who we just, helped you, I don't know, malaria or water or solar power or some stuff like that, or made internet free forever for everybody, I don't really see what the issue is. I think you do have to Here we go. Uncle's got a counter argument, but let me get to this. It's is it impossible to honestly earn? It is impossible to honestly earn $171 billion by working hard. LOL, that's from exploitation and corruption. How can you choose to keep and hoard all that money when you know you could solve many problems with it and still be able to live your life comfortably? Comfortably, yo, you give me $10 billion right now. You give me any money. I should comfortably, yeah, hella comfortably. Okay, social responsibility tax. I like that. All right, there we go. There we go. Some connections. Okay, capping wealth caps your possibility and limits your growth. That's what they. That's what Bezos wants you to think. That's the Bezos hustle. Okay, why, Uncle? Why? Because for me, like, I don't know. Because I think if we were able to make education free for everybody, wouldn't that expose a lot of other minds and give them a lot of more possibilities to like have the chance to see what they could do? I would love to see what is this? It says zoom in. Okay. Why does it want me to zoom in? Okay. This is Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg made it is at 100, I mean 82. I don't know why they want me to zoom in right now, but I'm zoomed in. That's 200 million. Okay, I don't know what's happening. Okay. Yeah, I just imagine there are like people in countries that can't afford to go to university or don't have good universities. If we could build amazing universities all over, and let's say all of the young girls across the world who never got a chance to go to university now get to study whatever they want. I'm sure they're going to invent some stuff, some brand new stuff that's way hotter than whatever a rich man's going to do when he's trying to pursue his billions. Because oftentimes the innovation for billions comes from patents and stopping other people from competition. It doesn't come from, okay, we can have a world in which wealthy people exist without handing nearly all of the money to the super rich. You know what I'm gonna say? Okay, Kevin says wanting that much money is an indication of a mental illness, and I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna say allowing somebody to make this type of money is an indication of societal weakness. I think my friend who posts and says, who decides who can get that money? That's a reasonable thought when you come from a world where most of your governments are corrupt, when you don't trust, when your democracy is broken. But if your democracy was strong, if your community was community, you know what I mean? We wouldn't be worrying about who's going to decide because everyone would already know and it would be smooth. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna say it's not just a sign of an individual weakness. I'm gonna say it's a sign of a collective sickness because we as people, there are people I know who are like, nah, let them have the money. So it's us. I don't want to point fingers at Bezos. He's just a symptom. It's us. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? And that's real. Like okay, how do I say in a family? Imagine, okay, if you were in a family and one of your brother had like $1 billion and granny needed a new hip. Imagine someone saying, "Yo, brother, you got to get granny that new hip," and brother like, "Nah, that's my money." First of all, in a real family, you don't have to ask brother for the new hip. You know what I mean? Granny needs a new hip. Brother's already on that. Brother already. And if you had to take that money from him, he's not salty about it. But we're in a society where brother has too much money. And I'm even being nice. It's more like brother put granny to work. Granny hurt her hip working for brother, being exploited by brother. And then you say to brother, yo, you need to give granny some of that money back. Because these billionaires ain't making the money by themselves. They're not making the money by themselves. This says no single human being needs or deserves this much wealth. Like no one makes the money by themselves. It's everything is always an exchange. And so to make this money and then to hoard it and then to allow that person to not share the money is not only a weakness of the system, but a weakness of the people who watch a man have this kind of money. This is ridiculous. I didn't know this was going to be so long. I really thought, but this is I'm enjoying this video. I'm enjoying it very much. I think this is what needs to happen today. Okay, I'm gonna pull up another comment, and I'm pulling up these comments because these were like the yes, and I wanted to respond to them verbally. I'm not really good text, and I wanted to see what the streets had to say. And Uncle, I'm still thinking about what you said about as it relates to. So I would say that billionaires should be able to exist. No, you don't have to hate it here. Okay, so yeah, Iman just said this. She said we're half an hour in it. It still hasn't ended. I hate it here. No, just be happy that we're waking up. Be happy that we're waking up. So I would say that billionaires should be able to exist as long as they aren't abusing their wealth for the greater good. As long as they aren't ill-gotten billions. And I want to say to the world, you show me someone who made their money, who made that billion without having exploitation or antitrust or monopoly or patents or any kind of that shady stuff. Great thought-provoking question, though. And I'm serious. Like, I think one of the things that I have to remind myself is that, like, I don't know how many generations ago, Uncle, you can tell me, how many generations ago were our people slaves? Like, literally on plantations. You know, I'm at least sitting in a comfortable home with air conditioning talking about inequality. That's progress, you know. And in terms of women rights, some of us we weren't allowed to vote, man. Like we are moving slow, maybe not fast enough, but we are making progress. And as long as we keep our eyes on the prize and keep focused on trying to demand better, then I think we could get it. And what I want to do and what I'm trying to do is trying to get people to imagine better. I don't know how. I don't know what system is going to prevent this shit from happening, but I know that this is some shit, and I don't want us to settle no more. I can't have us settling no more. It's disgusting. The settling is disgusting too. And where's our trust in ourselves? You know, like why can't we say, "Yo, I'm a part of a good society where the democracy is functioning, and we're not going to put up with no bullshit. We're not going to let nobody exploit us. When we tax you, we're going to tax you justly, and we're going to put that money to good use." It's done. Okay. Now we have the 400 richest Americans. That's okay. I don't even want to do this. The 400 richest Americans is 400 people have $3.5 trillion. A trillion is a billion, right? Is a trillion a billion? I don't know, but I don't want to do this, girl. I do not want to do this, girl. I'm done. I'm done with this. Okay. I sent the link. If you have time for that, you have time for that. But I'm giving that a break. I was saying something. What was I saying? I don't remember. Is it back to this? All right. Yeah. Okay, that's what I was saying. I was saying, like, I think we need to be thinking about what kind of democratic social structures that we need to create so that we can trust ourselves. Because not being able to trust yourself or each other enough to be able to police this is a problem. You know, it's like I know this the thieves and the exploiters are exploiting, but I don't trust anybody else to really rein them in, so I'm gonna let them keep doing it. That's another failure. Hold on. No, I does it. Okay, so I did not hear about the attempted citizens arrest of Justin Trudeau. That's funny to me. Okay, you can give me the details. Okay, I feel it's not so much the figure; it's what we do with it. Not hoarding it, just passing it to the next generation. But the distribution of it to eliminate poverty, hunger, climate change, and lack. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. But for me, it's just like like in any video game, there's only so many digits your score can get to. You know what I mean? Only so many digits your score can get to. You know what I'm talking about? And after you reach that, just 9999999, and you're good. And it's like, okay, the video game is like, all right, you won. Like, what do you want? That's it. So after you get to the 999, what is it? I'm gonna be after you hit 100 million. The rest of that is just going to climate change. The rest of that, we're building schools. That's it. And we'll put in a book somewhere that says you would have made this much money. Cool, but you didn't get to keep it because we're in a good society. Um, that okay, so I'm gonna I think yeah, so people my other friend is most concerned about who decides what to do, who decides, you know? Everything is fine. Okay, I'm gonna read this out and then I'm gonna get to a video and then we're gonna talk about some other things. Let's go. Bam. Everything is fine and dandy in theory. Implementation in a world of imperfect people is always the rub. We can, of course, always strive for better and even for perfection, but implementation has to account for impurities in the system. Our system is all over the place. Most, all people are hardwired to look after themselves and those close to them first. Try to create security. For some, I think it strays into the realm of pathological and translates into greed and billionaires. I'm still going with this. I just want to give space to the no voices. You know what I mean? Because I think discourse is important, and I like replying to the no voice. And okay, and also just for prosperity on the internet, when you see this on YouTube, these comments are not my own. Okay, they're not mine. They're from people I know. They're not mine. I'm just posting them in a group just for streets. All right. Greed and billionaires, but who caps it and how much? Most important in my view, where does the excess go and how is it managed? And are really important questions to consider. I'll be honest. I trust Bill and Melinda Gates to do a better job of redistributing their wealth than just about any government system I can imagine. Not to say there isn't a solution out there, just that it requires a complete reimagining from the ground up, which, sorry to say, I don't think I'll see in my lifetime. But where's the but? I have to find it again. Here we go. It's loading. But maybe the beginnings of change in the right direction would be a good thing. So one of the things that I'm learning when I'm trying to do this whole thing and talking to people is realizing how much emotion matters in terms of people's political discourse, right? The first comment was like, my people are from Soviet, and that was messed up, and this is better, so I'm good with better. And as a result, I'm not going to watch no billionaire because this is better, right? The next person was like, I don't personally want the responsibility of dealing with these decisions as to who gets what, and that makes me nervous, so I'm gonna leave it alone. And my friend here is like, to have a better society that would be better equipped to deal with redistribution of wealth would require a totally new system. And also I don't trust this current system, and all that sounds like a lot of work, so I'm gonna say no too. And I'm hearing emotions, right? I'm hearing like lack of trust. I'm hearing exhaustion from being in the Soviet situation. I'm hearing not wanting the responsibility or the stress. And these things I have to be dealt with. And I think they have to be acknowledged. We're not just arguing like numbers and stuff. Like we're thinking about people's emotions and what stops them from being able to imagine a better world. And I guess I just want to acknowledge that that's what we face. We face. Yeah. Okay. So I have this video. Okay. And I wanted to get to it. It's Are Billionaires Good? I guess we'll do Metrolink tomorrow. That makes more sense. Okay. Let me first get to these comments and then I'll drop this video. The whole "as long as they're not abusing their wealth" isn't real. Name one good billionaire. I know there aren't any. It's a lie. It's a lie. The image of the benevolent philanthropist is a facade to hide the fact that these people are a threat to us. They can literally purchase a media empire that has the power to launch thousands of votes on any issue and put evil people in power. Preach. They are behind the scene puppet masters and the leaders who perpetuate an unjust society.